Welcome to another lecture by MedicoMedics, Microbiology and Infectious Diseases. Chapter 13, Emerging and Re-emerging Infectious Diseases. Now in this lecture we will talk about what are emerging and re-emerging infectious diseases, its causes, some examples, some causes of re-emerging diseases, and some examples. Further, we will continue talking briefly about the role of antimicrobial resistance and global challenges ahead, and end with a summary. So let's begin by differentiating between emerging and re-emerging infectious diseases. So emerging diseases are new infections appearing in a population for the first time. Examples: recently we had COVID-19, or the SARS, or the Nipah virus. However, when we talk about re-emerging diseases, these are previously controlled diseases that are increasing in incidence. Example: tuberculosis and measles. Now, some causes for emerging diseases. Key drivers include zoonosis, so diseases jumping from animals to humans, like Ebola or COVID-19, as far as we know. Then we have urbanization, so crowded cities make it easier for diseases to spread. Another one is globalization, increased travel and trade spread diseases quickly. And then, of course, climate change, so expanding habitats for vectors like mosquitoes. Now, some examples of emerging diseases. We mentioned COVID-19 caused by SARS-2, spread rapidly globally. The Zika virus linked to birth defects, spread by mosquitoes. Hantavirus spread by rodents, causing severe respiratory illness. Now, what are some causes of re-emerging diseases then? Some key factors mentioned are vaccine hesitancy. It leads to outbreaks of measles and polio. Antimicrobial resistance, so old diseases like tuberculosis become harder to treat. And weak healthcare systems, so unable to maintain control measures. Some examples of re-emerging diseases include TB, tuberculosis, rising due to drug-resistant strains. Measles, increasing due to vaccine hesitancy. Dengue fever, resurging in urban areas with poor mosquito control. The impact of emerging and re-emerging diseases. So health impact, we have high mortality rates in, example, Ebola. Long-term health complications like Zika virus and its relation to birth defects. The economic impact, so we have healthcare costs, loss of productivity, and travel restrictions. Some social impacts, we develop stigmas, fear, and misinformation. Surveillance and monitoring, why it matters? Well, early detection prevents outbreaks from spreading. We hope, anyway. Tools. So we have disease surveillance systems like the World Health Organization's Global Outbreak Alert and Responsible Network. Genomic sequencing to track pathogen evolution. So the surveillance is like keeping a watchful eye on diseases. The earlier we spot them, the faster we can sort of contain it. Now, controlling emerging and re-emerging diseases. So strategies include vaccination campaigns, public education to counter misinformation, strengthening healthcare systems for faster response. Examples: polio vaccine eradication efforts, and COVID-19 vaccination programs. Now let's talk about the role of antimicrobial resistance. So the definition here is that germs evolve to resist treatments, making infections harder to treat. In our previous lectures, early in this course, we talked about the bacterial cell wall, plasmids, we talked about viruses and how these can adapt over time in different ways to expel and remove our antibiotic treatments, also ways to evade our immune system, etc. So overall, it's the same philosophy here. Germs evolve to resist treatments, and this makes the infection harder to treat. Like multi-drug resistant tuberculosis or drug-resistant malaria. Now, what are some solutions here? Judicious use of antibiotics, and of course, development of new drugs. What about the role of public health in disease prevention? Efforts promoting vaccines and hygiene, enhancing disease reporting and global collaboration, supporting research on emerging diseases. So, some global challenges and future directions. Some key challenges include poor access to healthcare and vaccines, climate change driving vector-borne diseases like mosquito spread, for example, leading to the increase of the Zika virus, political and economic instability affecting response efforts. Future focus, strengthening global health systems, investing in research and innovation, and addressing social determinants of health. So in summary then, emerging and re-emerging diseases pose significant global challenges. Surveillance, vaccination, and public health efforts are essential to control outbreak. Collaboration and innovation are crucial to address future threats. And that's the end of chapter 13. Thank you for listening. Continue now to chapter 14.